Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome to the KSP Motivation channel. My name is Kendi. I'm a six-figure Amazon seller, and on this channel, I'm tracking my journey and progress on becoming a seven-figure Amazon seller. All right, so yeah, guys, today this video is gonna be about Keepa, what Keepa is, and how to use it. So if you're new and you're selling on Amazon and you don't know what Keepa is pretty much a software that you use to help you make well-informed buying decisions on a listing that you're looking at, and pretty much what it does is it just basically collects a ton of data and it compiles it into a chart that looks like this right here. And this chart basically just lets you know what the past looks like for this product, right? So I'm gonna go through and show you what each line means so you could understand what you're looking at. First of all, Keepa is $20 a month. I pay $20 a month for Keepa. You just go onto their website, sign up, create your account. The free version is very limited and you don't get as much data, but this software is completely essential. It's super essential to the point where this graph is integrated into a lot of other programs, softwares that help you make buying decisions. This is basically the foundation for online arbitrage or retail arbitrage business. So this learning to read a Keepa chart is really essential to the growth of your business, foundation of your business, because that's where you'll be making every single buying decision before buying stock for your business, right? And even if you've already been selling the product, you still need to look at the Keepa chart every time before you make another purchase, because prices on Amazon change. They are not always good. They go down, they go up, and you know, ideally you want your prices to be going up, but if they're going down, you need to be well aware before buying again. And then this next batch that you purchase may not be profitable, even though it was super profitable last month. So you have to be checking the Keepa every single time before you make a buy, right? So right now, if you're looking at this, it might look like a lot to take in, but I'm gonna take some stuff out so we could break this down, and I'll show you exactly what you need to be paying attention to. So this right now is a blank Keepa chart, right? So being blank, one of the first things that we're gonna look at is the buy box, right? The buy box is basically this little box right here on Amazon that the customer sees when they come to buy the product. They add it to the cart. Basically, whoever's holding the buy box, you can see right here, the buy box is being held by this seller, sold by and fulfilled by Amazon. So this person is a FBA seller, and they're currently on top of the buy box right now. So basically, that's what we're looking at right here, is the buy box for the past 3 months. As you can see, I have it highlighted down here for the past 3 months. If you want to go further than that, this product history goes back 2,000 days. So this listing has been created 2,021 days ago. So it has a very long history. And as you can see here, I just went to the whole history, but it pretty much stops December 10. I don't know what year that is. Looks like the 2022. So the buy box before December 2022, there was no buy box on the listing. And when there is no buy box, Amazon does suppress the buy box on some listings. When there's no buy box on a listing, it becomes a price war where whoever is the lowest seller is most likely to get the sale, because anyone who's shopping on Amazon won't see this add to cart button, right? Instead, it'll just tell you, it'll give you something like this, you know, there are 30 sellers, and you just click on it and then it'll show you a list of sellers, and usually it goes from cheapest to lowest. So that's what happens if there's no buy box. It's whoever's the cheapest is going to show on top, and then pretty much the customer most likely is going to go for the cheapest, right? So in this period right here, where there is no tracing of a buy box, that means this whole time there was no buy box on the listing, and it came up 1 year ago, 2022 of December. And basically with the buy box, it works a little bit different. The buy box doesn't necessarily select the lowest priced item, but it goes through Amazon's algorithm. Somebody may win the buy box over another seller if their product is closer to the customer as opposed to the other. Somebody might win it because they're the lowest by a stretch. Some people might win it because they're sitting on a heavy, large amount of stock and have been in stock on this, and they're reliable on this listing, so Amazon will choose them over another seller because, you know, they're more reliable, and they don't necessarily even have to be the lowest price. So with a buy box, it's better because you don't have to necessarily compete on price, which can be a nuisance. It could be very annoying when you have to keep dipping your margins just to make a sale. So yeah, so you can see over here, late 2022, the buy box came up. So that's the first thing we're gonna look, right? We want to check to see if there is a buy box on the listing, and even if there isn't a buy box on the listing, that does not mean that it is a bad listing. You can still sell when there's no buy box. You just want to be careful to watch how the trends go over time. So the second thing we're gonna look at, which is the biggest thing, is the sales rank. The sales rank, let's bring it back down to 3 months. Okay, so you can see here, BSR, bestseller rank, the closer to 1. For the BSR, we're looking at this scale over here. And the closer to 0 the BSR is, the faster it moves, the faster it sells. It doesn't stay in stock. Right, so every single time there's a sell, there's a drop in rank. It drops down closer to 1, right? So the lower something is to 1, the more it sells. And generally in most categories, anything below 100,000 BSR, bestseller rank, like you can see here, this 13,000 sales rank, that's very low. That's very low considering the amount of things that are selling on Amazon on a day-to-day basis. Anything below 100,000, I'll say, is probably, in most categories, is top 1% sales items, right? So this is very good on sales rank. And you can see here, I just noticed for the past year, around this time here, you can see there's a big drastic change from here versus from here. In terms of the BSR, the sales rank, the green line, right? You can see that over here it was much higher, 400,000 sales rank, meaning it was moving a lot slower. It was not moving as much as it is right now. All right, so over the course of its lifetime, probably due to the high price of it, it was selling a lot slower. So about 6 months ago, it picked up in speed and sales, and it's just started selling a lot more, which is good. This is good. This is you want to see something with a low sales rank and consistent. The buy box, the key thing you want to look for in a buy box is that it is consistent across the board, like it's a flat line like this, meaning the price is stable. It's not swaying too far low, too far high. Right here, when you're looking at the buy box price, this is for the price, this side right here. So you can see the product was at one point around 37, then it went to 39.99 for a while by FBM seller. Then it was an up and down battle. This was a rotation. Buy box sellers rotating the buy box to different prices, jumping up and down. So yeah, basically this right here lets you know the price history of it. And over time the price did go a little bit lower, but around $28 the sales rank totally dropped, got lower, which means it's close to 1, and it started picking up in sales. So it's been selling pretty well for the past 6 months. The next thing we'll look at here is going to be our new third-party FBM. All right, so we have the new third-party FBA. These are you and me. These sellers are you and I, who are coming on this listing. FBA, we've sent our products to FBA, to Amazon's warehouse, and this will let you know around what price other FBA sellers are at, really. So with this orange, this FBA, these FBA triangles, we're looking at this legend on this side to keep track of the price, which is, you know, just like the buy box, it dropped around halfway through the year 2023, right? So here you can see most FBA for the past 6 months, most of these sellers have been listing their prices. Mass majority of them, almost everybody, has been listing at about 27. You might have a few higher. They might have dropped theirs, or they might have sold out. But yeah, for the most part, the average that they're listing is about $24 to $27. And right now it's around 24, 25 FBA, right? The next thing we're looking at here, so you might just want to come here and compare yourself. If I'm going to buy this, I need to make sure that I'm profitable at around 21, 20, not even 21. That's a little bit low. It didn't hover, stay that low for too long. But probably I'll see around $24. I'm profitable, 23 to be conservative, and more, right? The next thing we're going to look at here is FBM. Now, if you choose to keep this home and FBM it, meaning you ship directly to the customer when they buy it, then you'll be looking at this to compare at the blue, the blue squares here. And of course you could toggle these on and off by clicking on it. But yeah, so if you're an FBM seller, you want to be comparing to these prices mostly, because chances are these are going to be your competitors. You're going to be competing against these guys, right? Now the thing about it, and on top of, also for the FBM, you're also using this legend. So you're using this legend here for the buy box, keeping track of prices in general, the buy box, the FBA sellers prices, and also the FBM seller prices, right? So now with everything enabled up here in this top chart, with the buy box, the FBA, FBM here, you'll be looking at something like this, right? This is pretty heavy sales activity going on here with the buy box, right? You have the FBA and FBM sellers. Anybody could win the buy box. Back here, when there are more, well, it looks like it was only FBM sellers on the listing around here. $39 FBM seller was on the buy box. As you can see, you have new third-party FBM right there. It says 39 and buy box 39. So that means the FBM seller is on the buy box. And then as time goes on, FBA sellers jumped onto the listing around this point in time, and you can see the buy box still retained by FBM as FBA sellers jumped on. FBM sellers are still retaining the buy box. And over here you can see the what I was saying about the buy box rotation here, going up and down. You have the pink bouncing up and down here. That it was rotating between FBM, then FBA seller would win it, CZ 98%, then it'll go back down to another FBM. So there was a little price war between these two sellers here. You have FBM again, won it again, CZ won it again, then FBM Field Store won it, and so forth. So you can see the toggle back and forth and see if, you know, this is really helpful if you're gonna buy something FBM, because typically FBA will win the buy box most of the time. But in a few cases, if you're planning to sell something FBM, or if you see an opportunity to do so, that's what you want to be paying attention, is to see how often FBM is winning the buy box, to know if you have a good chance of actually gaining buy box on this listing, because there are some listings where you'll rarely see any buy box win by FBM. So the next thing now, aside from that, that's pretty much for the top chart. That's pretty much all you need to know really to begin understanding this, right? The rest of the options, sometimes there's usually more, but if you see any other options additional, really is just the sales rank, buy box, new third party, and FBM. Those are really the 4 ones that you need to really make a decision. And then down here and on this box down here, we want to make sure that we have new offer count. This is going to tell you, once you have new offer count toggled on, this lets you know what the competition is like or has been like in the past. So generally we're looking on this chart, we're looking at this legend over on this side, and basically what this chart is doing is basically keeping track of how many sellers have been on this listing over whatever time frame that you selected. So as you can see right here right now, this is letting us know on Sunday, November 12th, they had 113 sellers selling this at the same time, meaning it was there's a lot of competition on this one, right? I don't really like to jump onto listings that are more than 20 sellers, right? I like to have them under 20 sellers for the most part, but there are cases where I'll go up to like 30 sellers, 40 sellers, depending on how well the product is selling, right? So supply and demand right here, there was a lot of supply, and typically what happens when there's a lot of supply, you'll see a dip, a bit of a dip in the price because there's a lot of supply, right? But once the competition starts dropping like it is here, you'll see the price up there on the chart but above gradually increase as well, because there's less competition on the listing at this point. Less supply brings you higher profits, higher prices. You can charge more because now the competition has reduced. You'll see that consistently throughout every single chart that we look at. Every single time there is a drop in competition, you should see a gradual increase in the price. So this chart, the second chart, is very important. And sometimes the best plots to be on are the plots where the demand is so the sales rank is so low to the point even when there's a lot of competition, you don't get a deep dip in the price. If this was a slower selling product, trust me, this dip right here would be a lot deeper because less sales, a lot of competition, and everyone's trying to get a sale. Everyone's going to keep dropping their prices to get out, to get a sale. Then you're going to have this whole price war. Yeah, so it's good to be on high volume listings if there's a lot of competition. But another one you want to have enabled is this Amazon setting here. I should have left it enabled. I don't need this one right here. But Amazon, you want to have that. This lets you know if Amazon has been on the listing, if they are currently on the listing, and for how long they've been on the listing. All right, a time frame of 1 year, right? So for the past year, Amazon has been on this listing and they have not gone out of stock at all. And generally when Amazon is on a listing, they're typically in control of the buy box at all time, so nobody else gets the buy box, nobody else gets to sell. And even sometimes if you dip lower than Amazon's price, Amazon still keeps the buy box, and your stuff might sell, but very slow, if at all. So stay away from listings where you see Amazon dominates it. So when I go to the buy box statistics, you'll see that Amazon has had the buy box 100% of the time for the past 6 months and more. If I go for the past year, they've had it. So this also confirms that this is a terrible listing. You don't want to be on it. You don't want to compete with Amazon at all for whatever reason. All right, so guys, this is going to be it for today. I just wanted to go over this how to read a Keepa pretty briefly and very detailed. I did kind of go a little bit fast, but I'll probably do more videos of this in the future to refresh or rephrase some stuff. But yeah, so I hope you guys learned some things. I'm gonna do another video on showing examples of what good keepers look like and what bad keepers look like and what to stay away from. I didn't want to do it in this video because then it'll be way too long. And yeah, so this video is just strictly for understanding how to read a Keepa. And stay tuned for a future video on what, you know, pretty much analyzing some Keepa charts so we could understand, like, you know, what we should be avoiding and what we should be targeting. But anyway, if you guys learned something, if you guys enjoyed the content, and if you guys want to keep seeing more content like this in the future, please give me a thumbs up on this video, like the video, and also sub to the channel. Stay tuned for more content. And until next time, guys, thanks for watching. Be easy, be breezy, and peace out.